Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining me for another beer review. Hope you're all doing well. And we've got something a little bit different this time. One of my subscribers, or I'd like to think he's a subscriber, but a chap I also know, sent me some homebrew. Now, I'm kind of thinking it's nothing that he's actually just done his own recipe. I'm guessing it's from a brew kit or anything, but I haven't got too much information on that. So it's from a lad I know called Simon, and on YouTube he is known as Red Devil, Man United fan. Boo! And he lives sort of local to me, and I sort of met him really a while ago. I'm not sure he was watching me channel then. He might have been, but I bought a few bits and bobs off him, and he commented on, I think on me live or on a video. I think on a video, he commented on a video and said he's got some homebrew and he'd like to send a couple of bottles out to me. So that's what he's done. So a big thank you to Simon, much appreciated, mate, and looking forward to it. So, right, before we get onto the beer, I'm going to whack it in a pinter glass just because the pinter is a homebrew thing. So I do some of that and I just think that'll do for this beer, a bit of a homebrew one. So what we got is in a 500ml bottle, and it simply says Dark Rock West Coast Pale Ale, coming in at 4.5%. Now, I don't know if Dark Rock is just the name of the beer or the brew kit brewery thing or what, I'm not sure, but it's a West Coast Pale Ale coming in at 4.5%, and he has put on it that it has Simcoe and Citra hops in it. So I'm looking forward to it. There he goes, he's got one of them fancy British crowns on. I'm hoping this isn't going to go wild. It has been chilled, so I'm hoping it's not going to go wild, but you know what I'm like when I start throwing things around. If it does go wild, Simon, I'm going to be knocking your head off. So let's get her open. Ooh, nice little bit of smoke on there. It hasn't gone wild, and there's a little bit of, obviously when he sent them, a bit of gunk on the sides. That'll be some of the old yeastiness. So let's get it poured out and see what we get. Well, it looks well carbonated, nicely carbonated, not well carbonated. And my glass looks ridiculously dirty. How many bubbles sticking to that? Shocking, Bazza. Tap them off. But there we go. Beer in a glass. We've got a nice big head there. These sort of glasses it's nucleated glass, and a small glass and tapers in it will create a big head. That's what it does. Give the glass another tap. But it's a hazy little number, as you can see. Amber in colour, lots of bubbles going up. You can probably see that. White head, mix and match, about 2 fingers. But looks decent. Looks decent. So, I'm not going to waffle on for hours on end. Well, I'll try not to. Let's dive in with the nose. Have a sniff. Does look good though, doesn't it? Does look good. What have we got there? That's just bubbles. Okay. Could be my nose, still getting over the old lurgy, but it's subtle on aromas. A little bit of a hoppy note. A little sweet malty note, but there's nothing that I would say I'm really massively picking out. Yeah. Let's just give it a bit of a top up and dive in. I'm not picking a lot up, but like I say, that could just be me. And I will give it a swill at the end. There may well be a bit more sort of sediment and flavour come out afterwards. But there we go. So, Dark Rock West Coast Pale Ale, 4.5%, a homebrew sent to me from Simon, Red Devil. Let's dive in. Give it a go. Cheers, pal. Yes, do you know what? Funny enough, West Coast Pale Ale. I'm going to go back to my pinter reviews. It's got the feel of a pinter brew. It's got the feel of a pinter brew. It's got that sort of, it just has that feel. But let's crack on with this. 4.5%. That's a nice body. Yeah, it's not weighty as such, but there's certainly no thinness there in the body. The carbonation is, it's there, but it's not overpowering. It doesn't roughen up the beer too much, if any, if at all, I should say. Pretty smooth, goes down easy. The West Coast side of it, for me, you definitely get, because on the taste, the first thing I got from that first mouthful was that resinous sort of thing going on. And I love the resinous in the beer. Yeah, it's got a real resinous in there. But again, I've just done a beer that's supposed to be piney, and I wouldn't say I've really picked up that pine note, so that could be down to me, but it's definitely got that sort of resinous feel. Hoppy, malty, slightly sweet. What I would say, I said, reminds me of a pint to brew, something like along them lines, and it does. But this, there's a certain taste that I get in these pint to brews when I do the homebrew that could be a little bit overpowering. They all have that set sort of taste. You sort of get that in this, but it's a lot more toned down, which makes it a more enjoyable sort of beer, I would say. Pardon me. Yeah, it's got a resinous in there, but I'm going to say it leaves you with an orange zesty bitterness, maybe a little pithiness as well. But that's a lovely note you get on the first sort of the start of the mouthful. You drink it, does it not feel as good once you've drunk a bit? Possibly. I think you get the best of this beer at the front, for me, my own personal taste buds. 4.5%. I think it's drinking very much along them sort of lines, 4.5%. I am going to stir it up. People may say, don't stir it up, you don't want all that lot in it. Do you know what? I don't give a shit. We're probably going to get two different beers. That is massively hazed up. Massively hazed up. I don't know if you can see, but there is, I could see that when I was pouring it in. You get that little sort of smoky, steamy sort of look, and there is just a couple of small lumps in there. With a lovely big head like that, really gives it a nice smoothness. And I've always said that anyway, with the home brews that I've done from the pinter. Once you get that head nice and creamy, it really does add to the beer. But this is it's a decent drop. Again, I don't know exactly what he's done. Homebrew kit. I'm guessing it's going to be a kit, and not where he's just right. I've boiled this up. I've boiled that up. I've done all this, like Rob from Bramble Beer Reviews, Mr. B's Homebrews and Beer Reviews. But yeah, that's a nice, light, easy drinker, and nothing nasty in there really. To be honest, there's nothing nasty in there. Like I say, it reminds me of some pinter brews, but certainly the ones that I've done, whether that's just me, there seems to be a set taste in them which you get in this, but this one doesn't feel so overpowering. So I don't know if it's anything I'm doing. Maybe Simon's just a much better brewer than me, or I'm getting things wrong when I'm doing stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's just the recipe. But the Dark Rock West Coast Pale Ale that he sent me, 4.5%, a nice enough drop, nothing nasty in there, and easy drinking. So there's my thoughts on that beer. Simon, comment, let me know. Is that just the name of the beer, Dark Rock? Or the brewery or anything, but let me know. And a big thank you to Simon for sending me that out. I like it. Easy drinker, if he's got loads of that at home, he ain't going to be going buying many more beers or buying any beers, because he don't need to, does he? He's got that. So yeah, I like it. So a big thumbs up to Simon for that brew. Thanks for watching. Hope you've all enjoyed the video. There is another one coming up from him, which I will do at some point. But that's it for this one. Lots of ers going on, isn't there? Lots of ers, lots of burps. Let's just end it there. See you on another one. Cheers.